Hello football fans, welcome to United Home. Here you'll get breaking transfer news, match updates, and exclusive inside training content. Show your support by liking the video, commenting your thoughts, sharing with other fans, and subscribing to join the United Home family. Manchester United chief weighs in on formation debate. My experience tells me. Man United's academy did not play with Ruben Amorim's formation during his 14 months in charge of the club. Manchester United's new academy chief Stephen Torpey has suggested the club's academy teams will continue to operate with the same formation, regardless of who the first team manager is. Ruben Amorim's formation was a talking point throughout his disastrous 14 months in charge of United, and fans questioned why the academy coaches did not use the same 3-4-3 system as Amorim. Although some have argued that it would be logical for academy teams to mirror the first team formation, former head of the academy Nick Cox said it was important to give youngsters a well-rounded education. Torpey was appointed as Cox's replacement in September, and the academy teams have not changed formation under his watch. Since then, Michael Carrick has changed the first team system to 4-3-3, the formation used by the youth teams, but Carrick is not certain to get the permanent job this summer. Should United hire a manager who wants the first team to play with a different formation, the academy team will continue to use 4-3-3 in youth fixtures. My experience tells me having consistency when you work with young children makes a big difference. The reason why we would select a certain system within youth is not because it's a winning formula. It's not because, if we play against this opponent, it means we're going to win. We've got to pick the right formula. That's the right system of play that's going to help us educate individuals within that team sport. And therefore, if we play with a back five or a back four, what does that give us? Well, actually playing with a back four means it's harder as a defender because you've got one less body. So therefore, they're going to learn more about the game. Playing with a midfield in a certain shape means that you've got the difference between a holding midfielder and attacking midfielders. Now that's important. That is really important. Not that we play that shape that's going to be the same shape as the first team, because tactics is taught really quickly. If you can teach players who are positionally savvy, a fullback or a winger could play a wing-back, because by the time they arrive at the first team, we actually don't know what system the first team will be playing. Our duty to these young players is to consistently teach them about the game, the principles of the game, and how they can play positionally in certain areas and zones of the pitch. Torpey continued. I think that playing that consistent way, so playing with 1-4-3-3 in youth, helps us. But also systems, as we know, they're not rigid anymore, they're fluid, so that's only a starting position. It's about teaching the game from that position. But having that set up means that as an academy, we can have alignment, and alignment is the key in youth from my experience, for sure. Therefore, when we're talking about players, and when we're talking about building programs for development plans, we have to base it on some area of the field so that we can teach accordingly throughout the week. But if you were to say, change the system every other week because we're playing a certain opponent, or we haven't got certain players available, my experience tells me that that creates more of a hindrance in terms of the young players because they're thinking more about tactics than the principles that they've been taught over that period of time. Torpey spoke to the MEN for one of the first interviews since his appointment as academy chief, touching on Sir Jim Ratcliffe's view on the academy, rising star JJ Gabriel and more. Man United transfer news live, Bruno Guimaraes agreement, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall interest. Manchester United are in the market for a replacement for Casemiro when the Brazilian leaves the club this summer, with Bruno Guimaraes emerging as the club's top target. Manchester United transfer news from the MEN. As the summer transfer window fast approaches, speculation has emerged regarding who is in line to replace Casemiro once the Brazilian midfielder makes his exit from Old Trafford come season's end. Newcastle United captain Bruno Guimaraes has emerged as the club's top target, with a gentleman's agreement that the 28-year-old has in place with his current club since coming to light in a major boost to the Reds. It was this week reported that United were in advanced talks to sign the Tyneside-based Titan in a £69 million move. However, sources close to Newcastle have since downplayed that suggestion. Elsewhere, with Marcus Rashford's future at Barcelona beyond 2025-26 hanging in the balance, the forward has been linked with a wealth of Premier League rivals, including Arsenal and Chelsea. Barcelona boss Hansi Flick has offered an update on the possibility of Marcus Rashford joining the La Liga giants on a permanent deal from Manchester United following his loan spell. Manchester United defender Harry Maguire described the decision to send him off against Bournemouth as so soft. Maguire was shown a red card with 12 minutes to play at the Vitality Stadium on Friday night. Evanilson went to the ground after a push from Maguire. Referee Stuart Atwell pointed to the spot, despite waving away a similar challenge on Ahmad in the Bournemouth box earlier in the game. Writing on Instagram, Maguire reacted, "So soft, but that's where football is at ATM at the moment and I should know better. You would think both decisions would reach the same outcome. We will be back after the break. Safe travel home, Reds. Your support has been unbelievable." Man United are interested in signing Hoffenheim youngster Bazumana Toure this summer, according to reports. Jan Diomande from RB Leipzig is on United's radar, but Toure is the latest Bundesliga star wanted at Old Trafford. Fußballdaten.de have claimed that the Ivorian 20-year-old has impressed after his move to Germany from Hammarby. United are reportedly keen on Tottenham star Archie Gray and could make a move for him this summer. Sportsboom have claimed that United are monitoring the situation and will act if Spurs are relegated. Gray has been a minor shining light for the North Londoners, with his versatility a key asset. Barcelona head coach Hansi Flick has admitted that he or the club are unsure what will happen with Marcus Rashford at the end of the season. Speaking in his pre-match press conference ahead of their La Liga clash against Rayo Vallecano, he said, "We need everyone until the end, and we don't know what will happen after that." He said, "There's time, there's a World Cup. I believe in my players. Cancelo, Rashford, they give us quality, and the rest too. We'll talk at the end and see what happens. Now is not the time to say, I want this one, I don't want that one. Anything can happen." Speaking on his YouTube channel, the Manchester United legend said, "Beginning of the season, everyone was talking about Carlos Baleba. He seems to have gone off the boil a little bit form-wise. Elliot Anderson, he seems to have jumped to the front of the queue. I think he's a wonderful player. I think Elliot Anderson is the right type, not only of player but character. I think he'd be a good addition to the squad. Tonali is a big talent that everyone is talking about. Guimaraes is another big talent that everyone is talking about. But I just think the type of midfielder United need is somebody who is a bit more all-action, who can cover ground, who is dynamic, who is robust, strong, who can drive a team." Castle head coach Eddie Howe has slammed suggestion that Bruno Guimaraes is in advanced talks with Manchester United over a £69 million move this summer. Asked about the claims this week, the Englishman said, "I don't think I have to respond to that. It is a waste of my energy."